Three, two, one.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Airing It Out podcast live. I'm your host, Dustin Marion. He is my partner in crime, Hollow Clutch. But before we bring in Hollow, if you like it, like it. If you love it, please subscribe to it. Follow us on all our handles. We're trying to get this custom URL so that we can send you guys something easy to get into. And while he's dabbing, without further ado, what is up, Hollow?
What's going on, my man? What's going on? Finally, we got some good fucking news. Or, the world is on like one step closer to going to normalcy. The lunacy is almost over with the mask mandate. It's a little catch-22 though. They're trying to get you, but I'm happy. I'm happy. How about you?
You feeling good about your life now that you don't have to worry about it? We made it. We made it. We made it. I don't know, bro. It's kind of weird. I was telling the missus, like, I'm getting postpartum. I kind of liked it. It almost felt like I was back in high school. Just stay home all day, do nothing, just chill and relax. But now I gotta now they're turning the switches back on. So I guess it's okay. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm still not part of the real world. I don't know how that whole thing goes down. So I guess I'm happy. I'm happy for everybody else. I mean, that this was a scary thing in the beginning because nobody really knew what was going down. It seems like we're finally getting over the hump.
Yep.
But Bill Gates still said that this might not go back to normal into 2022. So I don't know if he's exaggerating or if the CDC is trying to get out in front of it. We still obviously have issues in Brazil, and we have issues, especially from a global standpoint, in India. Someone was trying to scare the shit out of me, saying that there was, I think, the Brazilian strain in Vegas. So I don't know. It looks like some of the restrictions are working. I don't know. I think herd immunity should be something that we should be trying. We've tried everything else, right? We tried the lockdown. We tried the social distancing. We tried the mask. We tried this. So, we'll see how it goes.
Let's put to put this full circle, right? Peep this. They just said this the other day. Remember how we had SARS a couple years ago, maybe like 5, 6, 7 years ago? That had a death mortality rate of 15%, and the world didn't shut down. This has an under 1%, and the fucking world went fucking in the bananas. That just shows how there was some agenda going on. I'm putting my little tinfoil hat on, and on less than 1%, the fucking world went crazy. A couple years ago, she was a 15% mortality rate, and nothing happened. Not a goddamn mask mandate, not a lockdown, nothing. Everything was fine. But with this, for whatever reason, it's crazy. Now you have, supposedly you have states like Ohio talking about if you get fully vaccinated, you automatically enter to win $1 million in a lottery. Like, it's all this weird trying to force people to take this vaccine. I just feel like it's more of a power play to see how much that they can get you to do and how much you're willing to comply. And then, like, so when the next thing happens, they're like, all right, we could control these motherfuckers easier. That's what it feels like to me. Because you got the people who just, yo, bro, just comply. Just do it. Just comply. Get it over with. We'll move forward. Just get the fucking vaccine or just wear the fucking mask. Because later on, what's going to be just, yo, bro, just give your fucking guns in. Bro, don't worry about it. Just fucking give away 75% of your money. Just comply. Like, it's this weird thing that it just showed how much people were just willing to give up some of their rights.
Well, it was a scary time. So I mean, I guess that the first thing that had me alarmed was when like a group of people in the government went into a room to like pretty much figure out what was gonna happen in the stock market. I already was like, this sounds shady. You guys, I don't know what's happening. But it's weird too because like I don't know. I feel like in New York or in some of like the more urban communities, people were like, I don't give a fuck. Here in California, a lot of people complied. And then you had some in the flyover states, like when I was in Oklahoma, they didn't even give a shit. So it was like, what, this might be one of the greatest, and this is gonna sound terrible, but if everything comes back and we look at it, I mean, obviously people die from this, right? So like, it's real, because for the longest time, you didn't know anybody that had COVID. That was the strange thing. You had all these numbers and everything, but you didn't really know anybody. At least over here in Cali, like it was taking a long time to get out of New York. And so I don't know. Is this like, I don't want to call it a hoax, but was this some kind of mechanism to try to control the people? You know what I mean?
That's what it feels like.
Same way that I could argue, or I don't know if I could argue it, but a lot of people think that the World Trade Center was a setup in a lot of ways for people to go, for the government to get back into the Middle East, and they're still in there. And Uncle Joey's talking about getting out of there at 9/11, which I think is like the worst messaging ever. Why would you even fuck with that day? Why are you talking about that date? Right? Like, pick 9/10, pick 9/9. Why did
tomorrow? Like, like, why September 11th is so stupid? Could have picked tomorrow or Monday. Like,
yeah, like
idiotic.
I felt like it was almost a borderline offensive to pick that day of all days, and then it just makes it seem like the government is definitely up to shenanigans as always. But we're reading the tea leaves, CDC. We'll see what happens, bro. I mean, I don't know. I only read the headlines, but I was reading a story about Japan try to shut down for like 20 days because their COVID situation was getting out of control, and they were trying to shut down or do a lockdown so that they can have the Olympics. And I'm like, really, guys? Like, that's what's important to us right now is sports.
It's all about money.
Right. That's that. And so then, like, don't tell me that it's about lives, because lives don't matter. They don't.
Yeah. Because even the COVID shit, to me, it wasn't about the COVID. It was about money. Because you had these hospitals getting $40,000 a dead body or $40,000 a body. So it had nothing to do with curing it or anything. It was just, if you had COVID, yeah, it was like cha-ching, money. Because I guarantee you, if it was $500 a patient, motherfuckers would have been lying on death certificates or misdiagnosing somebody. Because if you look at the symptoms of COVID, it's the flu or the common cold. So like,
it could be anything. It could be anything, bro. You could have like fucking stomach, like food poisoning, and it still checks all the same boxes. Like, sweat is like you even get cold sweats when you have AIDS. Like, that shit paints it with a broad brush, right? Fever, broad brush. Like, there's so many things. Diarrhea, pow. That's like, bro, everything gives you that, right? So it's really hard. I hope they used the money for good and didn't line their pockets to do something else, because I still feel like one thing that COVID did was it showed on how soft our medical system is. Right? Like, if something else like this happens that's serious, we ain't making it. That's
what I'm saying. Like, imagine if it was literally really a 1%. That's 3 million Americans. We're still not even at 1%. So that's where we get. People will go fucking crazy if we get to that point. Now, segueing to our craziness, where we go right now.
I know, it's everywhere. Remember, we always say it, bro. They're blessing us. They're just giving us news all day. So go ahead, intro something new that we're trying to do.
All right, so we got Elon Musk comes out in this polarizing tweet. I wouldn't even call it a negative tweet. I would say a polarizing tweet by none other than Elon Musk, the godfather of everything right now. And he just says how they're gonna suspend Bitcoin from being able to use with Tesla, and which is funny because he's not giving up any of the Bitcoin that they purchased. They're still gonna use it for whatever reason, but you can't buy electric cars with it. It's just a weird timing why he did it. And I wish I could like actually ask him personally what made him come to this conclusion.
Okay, so a couple things. First of all, to expand, he canceled all crypto. So it wasn't just Bitcoin that you could use to buy Tesla. You could use Ethereum. You could use Dodge if it was powerful. If you had like fucking $20 billion of Dodge, you could have bought a car with it. So he suspended all crypto to buy all vehicles. What his statement was and what was released about it was that cryptocurrency basically lives a carbon footprint. Mm-hmm. And so because of environmental issues, they were trying to walk away from it. But I find it surprising when, I don't know if he was dialed, right? Your guy tries to be a little dialed. His SNL performance was supposed to either make or break crypto, right? Like, everybody in the whole entire world was watching SNL to see what was going to happen, specifically with
Dogecoin.
Yeah, oh, sorry, I always call it Dogecoin. Thank you. With Dogecoin specifically. Dogecoin ate shit in the opening monologue. Yep. I have friends that have lost multiple thousands of dollars in that one night. Right? So here you go. You do this performance, and then all of a sudden it takes a nosedive. And supposedly it took a nosedive. It was supposed to blow up too on 420. I don't know what the significance of 420.
It was started on that day.
There you go. Thank you. See, that's why you're my partner in crime. Uh, so they would say that it was going to kill, but it killed the day before, right? So 419 it demolished when it went up to 75 cents, and then ever since that day, it's just been trending downward. And then when Homeboy came up, I think it went back up to like 70, and then shit the bed to like 30 cents. 20, not even, what was that? That was Saturday night. Today is Thursday night. You walk off of it, and you're talking about environmental issues. I mean, no one really wants to talk about on how amazing Elon Musk is, but some of the mining that they do for those batteries kills people. Right? It's harmful to do that stuff. Right? I'm sure like some of the technologies and the plants that he uses are not all full solar at this point. There's got to be some kind of carbon footprint there. So I know that overall the electric vehicles are supposed to be better, but I don't know if the manufacturing yet backs that up, right? Because it's not like I'm not 100% sure, but if I had to guess, I don't think that there's like 100% electric facility that makes electric vehicles.
True. I just found it, like I said, we found it weird that he came out today and released this tweet. Because he's always looking to the future, and what wants to push the human race to the future. And I think, like, to me, the idea around cryptocurrency and having a decentralized bank is a fantastic idea. I think knowing where all the funds and who touches your $20 bill, I think it's a fucking fantastic idea. So now there's no more this shady shit with money laundering, or you can't say you didn't take money under the table from somebody. Everything's out. It's a public ledger. Everybody gets to see. No more these politicians can say, "Oh, Exxon didn't give me no money," when Exxon gave you money. Like, it's an open forum. Everybody gets to see, and you can see through a lifetime of who touched that $20 bill.
But I feel like this. So I had on my man, shout out to Silverback, who came in from GorillaFi, and that's not entirely true.
What do you mean?
So if, let's say, you and me, right, we doing business for 10 years, we could have a second ledger that's not public. And we can keep all of that on crypto. We keep all of it like on our own ledger. Once we settle up, then we have to make the ledger public. But who's to say that we wouldn't fudge that ledger? I think there's nobody watching that private ledger. So that's not entirely true. Most transactions, yes, are going on. But let's say you and me are doing business for 10 years. Instead of me sending you 10 Bitcoin, you send me 5 Doge, I send you 100 Ethereum. We just keep numbers, bam, 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 to ourselves. And then when you're like, yo, Lou, yo, D, yo, my man, whatever the fuck, you're like, yo, come through, you owe me so much. I'm like, all right, cool. Let me write it down. I send you the money, and then we make the difference. And then all of that, what we kept, we can make public. But it's not public at the time. So I feel like there's still movements that could kind of be, dealt with. Also, too, I mean, I put it down. I don't know if you know this, but Warren Buffett, talks shit about it. Charlie Munger, his business partner, talks shit about it. Bill Maher just did an episode where it was in his closing notes. New rules. No, it was at the end of New Rules. Whatever his closing shit is. He talked about it being like how much energy it takes to run, that it's really not backed by anything. I mean, we're driving it up. I mean, for example, like if I like that is being watched. I like the fact that the bank doesn't keep banging me for fucking 12% every time I make a fucking transaction or every time I go inside the bank. But it doesn't seem like it's being 100%, decentralized. It just seems like there's just so many moving parts on how this thing goes. I don't know. I find it a little strange. Like
I find it a little strange that there's like 10,000 coins, like, and there's always so many more coins. I just feel like you need to have like, I get it. There's money around the world, but if there's one centralized money, currency, like Bitcoin or Ethereum, whatever. I'm not advocating for these specific coins, but I feel like there's so many coins and there's so many new bullshit coins keep being made that you're never gonna get this to be at a serious player. You keep having all, now there's a puppy coin, and then there's a light coin, and then there's Safe Moon, and then there's whatever fucking moon. So I feel like it should take it more serious. It should be more serious in the sense of like, we should have it where everybody could see where all the money goes. I wouldn't be mad because they kind of do it with Forbes now. You see what everybody makes. You You see, you know, the NBA when somebody gets a big contract or NFL gets a big contract, they say what the person gets made. You know, so I say from that standpoint, and just for our politicians, maybe so with our politicians having a decentralized thing where everybody gets to see what money comes in and when money comes out, and supposedly that's supposed to happen now. Like, but we know that it's bullshit because some people take shit on the table or put something in our stock options or there's a ways around it. So I hope we get
I
to that
just
point.
want, I do too. The only thing is too, like it's weird, right? Because it's like money plus the stock market together, right? Without the bank, right? If you were gonna write it as an equation, but it's strange. Like if you pay me one time 10,000, right, and then it goes down, then you really didn't pay me 10,000, right? So that means that I gotta immediately move that money into something else. Which, like, I get it that there's the fluctuations, but I almost feel like certain ones shouldn't. This sounds crazy. I don't know. Shouldn't be able to go down. Like once it hits a certain spot, it can't go further than that, right? Because it's like shit. If you're you know, a Bitcoin millionaire and then Bitcoin takes a dump, you're not a Bitcoin millionaire anymore. And what Warren Buffett said is I found fascinating too, because he said Bitcoin or cryptocurrency is only worth what someone's willing to pay you for it.
Yep.
Right. And so even though a dollar with inflation and all this other shit, a dollar's still a dollar.
But even now, no, but even now, the U.S. dollar it was taken off in the 70s. It's not, the dollar's not banked by anything either.
I get that, but the dollar doesn't go up and down.
Of course it does.
No, goods go up and down.
Yeah, but the value of the dollar goes down. So like,
I get
like,
you. When you do, what's that thing called that everybody likes? Forex. I see it. I watch it.
yeah,
Right
forex. But what I'm saying is like the U.S. dollar isn't backed by nothing. It used to be backed by gold, and Reagan took it off the back of gold, and that was just it's whatever we the people value it to be. And so it's similar to what crypto is right now.
That's fair. That's a fair argument.
But people don't know that. But like all I'm saying is just that the transparency and seeing everybody's, you know, what
transactions, especially when it comes from a legal standpoint, right?
Yeah. So like, you know, if you get whatever someone gives you X amount of dollars for, you know, a charity, and then that charity goes and buys a Lambo, like, and then you say, you know, I didn't get the money from the charity. The money is tracked to there, you know, even though with some forensic money thing, you can't track the money, but like you have a lot of, you know, we've seen Ozark. You got those guys who are really good with numbers and how to trick the system, and you got some people who like even who do your taxes. You be like, oh, Chef, I'll take a 2,000. You or somebody, they get you 10,000. So you got a lot of people who could just mess with the numbers and fudge the numbers. But when it comes with this, it's an open ledger and everybody can see it. If when I go check where this $5 who I gave Lou, where is it going? It went to Chris, and from Chris it went to Manny. From Manny it went to Dustin. I could see that, which is fine. But getting back to Warren Buffett, you know, they're he listens to Charlie Munger. That's his like go-to guy, and it sucks because they're ridiculously smart. You know, required mass amounts of money, and I remember when Warren Buffett said that he wouldn't want to invest in anything tech, and then like 2-3 years ago they invested, you know, I think 50 or $20 million into Apple, or probably more than that. So like, you pick and choose what you think something's going to be at your own expense, you know. But he holds so much power because he's Warren Buffett. People will listen. So like, who knows to say what crypto is going to become. Going back to Elon Musk, like we even say like to charge your batteries, there's some type of carbon footprint that Tesla's leaving in the world. Is it helping? Is it speeding up? Is it forcing all the other car companies to get electric? That's fantastic too, but we have a problem that they're kicking down. Excuse me, that they're kicking down the road, and is that how are we going to get rid of batteries? Are we going to recycle batteries? How are we going to throw them away? If we do throw them away, are we going to put them on SpaceX and shoot them into space, and then just let them fucking go into the Milky Way? Like, what is the plan for that? Because nobody wants to talk about that. It's all electric cars. We're gonna save for the future. No, fucking penguins live forever, kind of thing. So I would like to see what he says about how they're gonna get rid of the batteries, or how they're gonna reuse the batteries. I don't know.
No, I'm with you, man. I've had on shout out to the K10. She's a big Tesla Twitter young lady, and I haven't even like really like dived into asking her some of those tougher questions. Like I said, I'm concerned about mining the materials for the batteries because it's almost like sweatshop status over there in some of these other countries where they get that kind of stuff done. I don't know if they're changing or they're doing better on that front. Also, too, the batteries. I mean, there's no way of disposing that, right? And so, what are we going to bury it? If you bury it, who knows what's going to happen? If we go out of space, it's out of space. I just think that it's interesting that he's going all in. It's almost like, and I'm going to go on a limb here. I'm going to put your foil hat on. I feel like the powers that be know that the Earth is ending, and so now it's a race to space.
Think so?
Yeah, I mean, come on, Jeff Bezos just jumped on board on this whole fucking front. Like everybody's wanting to go to space. I think on our news or no news a few months back, the first outer space hotel is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Right. So like people are taking spaceships to outer space as like obviously the super wealthy, but like is that gonna be the next thing? 10, 20, 30 years from now, like our kids, they're probably gonna have a lot of money, let's say. And then is it going to be a thing instead of going to Disneyland, you go to the outer space fucking space station and you go hang out up there and there's like a resort up there and there's, all this cool shit to do up there. And then I think he said 2030 Mars or 2035, even 2040, I'll push it. In 20 years, we'll be in Mars? That's crazy. Now, is that just saying that's the first space station or is that saying that we're all going to be there, right? And then talking to some of my science buds that are nerds, they're like, Mars is uninhabitable. Solar winds are crazy. Like the environment there is tough. Like what kind of materials are you looking into to start building there? Like when I was, and I referenced to him, oh my God, I can't believe, Interstellar. Thank God I was able to pull it out. I had it before the show, but it's not working that good. Interstellar, you seen how they had their outer space program that they had to make a fake sun and making the fake sun created an environment. Because with the fake sun, then, HGO kind of happened through photosynthesis. And then now you have oxygen and all these other things. Is that something that they're looking at? Is that something that we're trending towards? I don't know. It doesn't seem like all from the Tesla standpoint seems to be like, let's get out of space. Let's make traveling cheaper because obviously the rockets now could come back. That was a big problem, wasting all of that money. So now that they can land themselves, they're saving that. So now that means how many more can be pushed up forward. And, a couple of things have been coming out lately about Elon. The guy, one of the partners from Neuralink stepped away and he's doing other things. He said a good shout out. They didn't say anything bad, but that's a little strange. There's also another report that says that from the Tesla, like side of things that he is embellishing a little bit about autonomous vehicles and where they're going to be at. So like you got all these stories. He's trying to do, basically cars that drive themselves, taking us to space, moving, crypto as a currency, and then doing some of these other things on the bottom, like Neuralink and trying to help paraplegic people out. But it's like, is he spreading himself too thin to be really killing it on these fronts? Because it seems now like the space thing is more important, especially now with NASA guys coming back, and now he's kind of like the frontliner in NASA.
I just think he's, again, we spoke about this a couple of episodes ago. I think the innovation to go to space, is a good thing. I think, we find technological advances going to space, pushing the boundaries. Without Elon Musk going to space, whatever he found in SpaceX, taking a fucking space, going to the rocket ship, going to space, coming back down and landing the same exact one and being able to reuse it again, I think that's pretty fucking dope. And then what's gonna come from that? Are we gonna get some type of floating car, or get some faster airplane travel? Or something is going to benefit the human race. So innovating for the future is not a bad thing. I think it seems like if it looks like a bad thing when somebody steps away, and like with the Neuralink. Remember, a lot of these great people who are super successful, who knows if he's not easy to work with, or the person who he hired, who that person's working under, is not easy to work with, because again, he's more hiring the right people who then report to him, and then if something needs his attention, he'll, I'm pretty sure, put more emphasis on this one project. So I think, man, I think he should keep doing what he's doing. I think going to space is a dope idea. Who knows? It might not be a bad thing to have, let's say a meteor's coming, landing in 30 days, and he already has it where he can get all of human population off Earth, or at least majority of human population off Earth, because he has it set up to be that way. So the way I see it is that, with him, he's doing a good thing. I think I'm not gonna focus on the very small negative things that come out about him, unless it's something drastic, where he's like, he's had child sex slaves, funding Tesla, funding SpaceX and shit like that. But,
He's babies and shit. Right. Yeah.
Everybody's going to be like, Steve Jobs was a dick, but, Steve Jobs changed the world with the iPhone. So, you got to give and take. I'll take, he could have been an asshole boss, but he changed the world. And everybody uses that technology. It doesn't have to be Apple. It could be Samsung. It could be fucking Nokia. They killed BlackBerry. BlackBerry came up with a touch phone. So like, it changed the world, and it changed the world for everybody to make money, like online, through the phone, the apps and shit like that.
Well, did you see the SNL opening or any of the SNL skits that he did?
I saw a little clips. I didn't see the monologue.
Okay, so in the monologue, he admits that he has Asperger, which is interesting. That he has.
Okay.
I don't even know if it's considered. I don't know. I don't think it's a learning disability, kind of a mental health. And I thought that was kind of cool to be honest about that. It seemed like he handled himself pretty good. He brought out his mom. His mom seems like an interesting gal. They're definitely innovators. His brother Kimball is a guy who loves working on self-sustaining farming. So yeah, I agree. I think that it could only help if they continue to do more stuff like this and create more innovations. I mean, he seems like a guy that's getting a lot done. We'll just see what the next few years go on. I mean, I feel like it was hot. Now it's kind of getting less hot. Obviously, the stock market doesn't really understand Tesla, and it keeps going up and down. Ever since they split, the stock really hasn't gotten back up to where it was. It kind of just has been staying where it was at before it was. And then him getting into the I believe he's part of the S&P 500. No, excuse me. He's part of the NASDAQ as a traded company. So, there's innovations. So hopefully things keep trending in the right way. But it was funny because I was teasing to try to make this an interesting segue. I was teasing the young lady who I had on about having electric vehicles. And now with this whole thing with the oil crisis, and I don't even know if it was considered an oil crisis because how long did it last? But this big pipeline gets hacked and sends everybody into paranoia. What are some of your thoughts on this thing?
Again, it's one of these things that you hear it and it sounds like a fucking movie. Cause like, to me, it didn't affect me. Again, like
I don't own a car.
kind of like for me, like I said, when COVID happened, I was already a homebody regardless. Like, it didn't affect the change of what my life was, how it was going, and it impacted it when I went out, a little annoying, but for the most part, I was majority home anyway. So when this whole pipeline shit going on, and I'm like, I understand, like, people were trying to pin at first, before this whole pipeline shit came out, people were trying to pin, gas prices going up, but like gas prices always go up when it's summertime, like always. Like they even went up under Trump. Now, don't get me wrong, at $2, $2.25 to go up to $2.50 is different than going from $3 to $3.50. Like that's different. So when I just seen the gas prices going up, we're like, all right, it's summertime. Restrictions are about to get lifted. People are going to be driving a shit ton more than they did last year. Like we returned our car, and it was a lease, and we had like almost 12,000 miles we didn't use. So, but them saying they got cyber attacked, they reminded me of like the shit with the movie with fuck this guy's name, the ball guy. Fuck, what's his name? Bruce Willis.
Okay.
Bruce Willis.
Oh, yeah, Die Hard 4.
when they
right?
were hacking the central
Yes.
servers and shit like that. That's why I thought at first. I'm like, oh shit, it's kind of crazy. Supposedly they paid the hackers $5 million
That's how
to
I got turned back on.
that's how I got turned back on, and they released it or whatever.
Mostly these guys are from Eastern Europe, and the name of the group that's responsible is called Dark Side, which is kind of a cool name. Not cool what they did, but that's kind of G that the group has a name. I don't understand. Like, this is another thing too. Okay, the baby boomers are in charge, right? And then you got like Gen X in there, or Gen Z. I forget which gen it is, right? How are we still getting caught with our pants down? Like, I get like we got hackers, but it's like, why is the US at times behaves like it's so behind, right? On so many fronts. Like, why are you not hiring the best hackers on the planet? Saying, look, they've done it before. I feel like Apple's done it. A couple companies like, break my phone, I'll give you $10 million. And then when they break it, they're like, all right, cool, show me everything you broke. I'll fix all that shit, and now it's unbreakable, right? Why, if this is one of the hugest oil pipelines in the nation, why didn't you bring somebody in to make sure your shit couldn't get broken into, right? Same thing with crypto, right? Some of these, old world thinkings, right? That's why I left New York City. Everybody's fucking in the behind, the curve, not ahead of the curve. That's why I'm here in Cali, even though it's Mother Cali. It's still like people are trending and trying to be on the cusp of things and breaking through and trying new things. It seems like most of the country is not built like that. And I just don't understand. Like, we're still having cyber attacks. Like, what the fuck is like Walmart and Target when they stole the credit cards? Remember when they had that big cyber? I'm like, bro, if you're Walmart, I'm like, hey, yo, get on the phone, find out who the best hackers on the planet are, bring them all in, right? Isn't that worth more? I'd rather pay those guys $20 million than some ransom to some dude and make sure my shit is flawless. Because that only tells me that they probably could get in again.
Yep. And then it reminds me. I know it's a movie, but in that movie with Bruce Willis, the guy says he went to the Joint Chiefs of Staff and said, "Listen, I could hack this system. Your system is hackable." And who's to say that, there was a guy out there who probably went, or a group said, "Hey, listen, your shit is hackable. In order to fix it, it's gonna cost $25 million." And they were like, "Nah, we don't want to spend that money." And look, it shoots you in the foot. So you got a lot of these old heads who don't see things rationally or don't want to try to be ahead of the curve, like you just said, for whatever reason. Like it's a power play to them. It's one of these things where, like, oh, we're in charge. We're the father figure here. We'll let you know what you're gonna do. It's weird and it's strange. It's strange the path we're on.
And I think that's going to be the demise of the states. Whether the demise of the states is us dying forever or us coming up and them going down, because they're not getting hip on the science. They're not getting hip on the technology. I mean, it's just like this is it's a part of it. Like, it's cool for you. Like, even with me, bro. So shout out. I don't know if I sent it to him, but shout out to the Uncle Lou. Uncle Lou goes on the site, says, "Yo, invest in Ethereum." I'm like, this motherfucker don't know shit. He invested, I think it was like 1,000, and I was acting like an old head. I should have put 1,000 in. It went up to $4,000, right? And that's why I always, and this is gonna sound terrible, but I always blame my parents' thinking. Like, that shit is embedded in me to say no, to be like, no, that's not gonna be it. That's not gonna be. What does Gary Vee always say? Be an early adopter. I know a lot of people don't like this guy, but Ty Lopez, same fucking shit. Early adopter. All these features. Mark Cuban, be an early adopter, right? And to break that down for people, that means jump ahead on it. So what? Put $10, put $100, see what happens. Don't be like, bro, I can't tell you. I missed out on fucking on Bitcoin when it was $7. I missed out on it when it was $10,000. Someone told me, hey, yo, movies in boxes are going to work. I'm like, get out of here. Redbox explodes, right? Like, there's been so many times that I'm thinking with that old head mentality, like, what are you talking about?
Nobody's gonna watch TV on the TV. Nobody's gonna watch the streaming movies to the TV. And that was a thing too. You had a lot of those things. You look at Blockbuster. They laughed Netflix out the room. So,
and it blows my mind. Like, same thing. Macy's, Bloomingdale's, all you motherfuckers. Why didn't you go online already? Right? What are you doing? You're closing down stores. Amazon and eBay literally showed you the cheat code, right? Put your shit online. Start closing stores. That way you could like consolidate and then teach the people in the stores, okay, cool. You could be personal shoppers. We'll give you a computer. You stay home and you run that server, that area, that thing. Someone can hit you any time of day like, hey, do you got size? Oh, I don't got it, but let me check us in Texas, blah, 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 blah. But that's what I'm saying. I feel like we're dragging our feet. Same thing with fucking school. Why are we still handing out notebooks? Why are we still handing out textbooks? Give each fucking kid a tablet, right? Download all the books. Send the fucking things. Like, even we're delaying our kids.
I was talking about my friends yesterday, how she sent a video of her daughter, and her daughter was like, she was on a laptop, and she was like, like in class like this, not enthusiastic about it. And I was thinking to myself, because like what I want to do next is I would like to homeschool my kids, because I think like people don't understand, like public school is trained for your kids to be workers and to take directions, and then that's it. I want my kids to be excited about learning. I don't care about being excited about going to school. I want my kids to be excited about learning anything new, because that curiosity and that learning something that sticks with you when you're 20, when you're 25, when you're 50, when you're 40, whatever. Growing up, because you just want to be curious and want to continue to learn. I don't want my kids to be like, oh, I gotta go to school again. This is so boring. Why do I gotta do this? I already know what 5 + 5 is. Like, I want my kids to be, all right, oh shit, I learned yesterday, blah, 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 blah. I learned how to do this yesterday, blah, 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 blah. Oh, we're gonna learn this tomorrow. I'm excited about learning this tomorrow. Oh, but what about this? Like, I'm fortunate that my oldest is like that. But my youngest is sometimes like, oh, I guess I'll do this. I gotta write another sentence. I gotta write this shit 5 times each. Like, it's just stupid things like that I wish we could upgrade. Because like even Elon Musk, he says he takes his kids and he has his own school, and the school teaches all the kids, no matter what age they are, the same thing. So even if you're 13, you get taught what somebody who's 7 is. If you're 7, you get taught what 13. I think that's the way to do it. You help everybody. And then, we have these lazy ass teachers, and everybody has a union, and I get unions. Like, I understand unions. But sometimes the unions just shoot themselves in the foot and eradicate themselves, make themselves invaluable in a thing. So like now, I know somebody who works in Verizon. Across the board, has always been that work productivity has been up if you work from home. Because you don't have to wake up. You can wake up, turn on, do your shit. You're moving and grooving. So now the company wants to keep the co-workers at home. But the union wants the workers to go in the building.
Because they get paid.
Exactly. They get paid extra union due money and stuff like that. So that's why he goes bullshit, because it's not the best interest of the union workers. It's the best interest of the union president, the union vice president, whoever's running the union, because the union itself is a business.
Back in the day, it was dope. Once it started paying fools out, now it's got like, it's like everything. It's like the police force. It's like politics. It's like all this shit. Once there's a couple of heads, those are the only guys that are profiting. Those are the guys that are only killing it. Those are the guys that are only enjoying all the fun stuff. Everybody else is grinding. Do you think it's fucking fair for a fucking teacher to be earning $35,000 a year, especially with all the shit that they got to deal with? And now you added COVID into that. You know what I mean? And then now again, by the way, why are we still mining coal? You guys gotta be fucking kidding me, right? Like, what happened to hydro, electric, right? Like, it's just like and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the nutshell of the discussion. There are so many people who have their hands on the steering wheel that are just focused on the old school way of doing things.
Like Elon Musk, he said those giga centers. He said if you do 100 giga centers in Utah, it powers the whole United States. But are we ever going to do that? Fuck no. Why? Because there's so many people getting money.
Right. It's the same thing with having solar. They had to change the game because they were getting pissed that they weren't paying. So they're like, you know what? Fuck this. First, we're going to charge the people that have electricity more electricity things. Now we're going to create a thing that's called prime hours or peak hours. So now we rape you from fucking 6 to 8. And then y'all other motherfuckers, we're going to figure out how to hack y'all. It's the same thing with tobacco, right? It's like, okay, tobacco, you're losing money, right? You got the jewel, let's say. Stop making jewels. Fuck, we're losing our ass. Okay, go to get some lobbyists, say state, make marijuana illegal, and now I have Marlboro marijuana.
Yep.
The innovation at these levels, and we can literally go through every spectrum and every kind of sector. We just dragging our ass, bro. And I gotta tell you something. We're still not fucking putting money in infrastructure. We're not getting ahead of the curve. Even with school, like you said, my kid, he's the same way. He's like, fuck, this boring shit again. Right? We're not getting creative. We're not teaching them innovative things.
And then
right?
and then you're teaching these kids difficult things like instead of saying addition, they go what they go instead of saying addition or adding, it's called counting on. Like why are we changing the verbiage of what adding is?
Yo, what in the fuck did they do with that?
And then it goes, oh, round to the 10 or get away to 10 or number bonds. Then number bonds to number sentences, and then Eureka math and this nonsense. Like, why are we making this shit so difficult? You know?
Bro, I couldn't even teach my kid fucking math. Because they're like, no, that's not how they show it anymore. You got to go up 10 and down 10 and then to the left and to the right, and then that's your number. I said, what about if I have 5 items and I take away 2? We don't do that shit anymore.
Exactly.
You got 10 items and I take away 3. Where the fuck are we at? How did they even complicate math? And that's the thing. It's like we're not simplifying some of this stuff, right? And no offense, look, you should know your math, but give the motherfucker a calculator. Teach them how to use a calculator. Like we should be ahead. Why are we still using an abacus? Right? It's like we're fucking like I get it. Show your work, but are we trying to go ahead? We still doing practice before.
Here's my only thing, but I get that showing the work thing is just to show. It has your brain move thinking and critically thinking and saying, all right, if I explain this, then you're gonna dive and look into something more deeper. So I get that part of it.
I told it too.
Mentally.
It's like even in high school they didn't want you to use calculator, right? Like my mom, she knows how to fucking kick ass on a calculator. Why do I have to wait to 12th grade to get to calculus to learn how to fucking use a calculator and use a percentage, bro? As a restaurant guy, as a bartender, I've had to use it, and I'm like, I don't know how to use this. Never was taught. Right? It's okay. It's a 5th grade. Let's say you start once you get the basics down. Like, there's so many things you could do in a calculator that trump so much other shit. Like, I get it, but again, I don't want to like drag this thing on too long. But it just seems like America as a superpower is not really using the superpowers that we should be using. And this is not going to be the last hack. And this is not going to be the last time we get caught with our pants down with some kind of virus. This is not the last time that some shit's going to get fucked up. Like I was telling my man, shout out to Uncle Salty, we're on the Titanic, in my opinion. We're headed for a fucking iceberg, and this thing is going to sink. And it's just inevitable. It's just inevitable. The only thing right now is that other parties that be are not on our level financially. But we should be worried about China. And I don't mean in the sense of like, they're our enemy, but in the sense of what they're using money to be spending on, right? I think I read somewhere some economist was like 10, 20 years, China's going to trump us in the way that they're building into China. Like they're soaking shit. Like we're building roads, we're building bridges, we're building buildings, we're teaching, we have longer school years. All of our kids go to college, like shit like this that America, and I'm not saying that college is for everybody, but it's like none of that shit we do here. It's just, again, the tops in their pockets and they go, fuck everybody, we're good,
basically.
All right. That concludes our opening monologue. Hopefully we didn't bore too many people with this shit, but there's obviously a lot of stuff.
Before you start, what's up, everybody? We got 5 people in here. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for being with us. Make sure you guys smash that like button for us. Get us to 5 likes. We have 1 right now. Get us to 5 likes. I appreciate all the love, all the support. Thank you guys for being here.
Yeah, much love, Emmanuel and Uncle Salty. I see you motherfuckers on for sure. You guys are the best. Thanks for always supporting the kids.
All right, so go ahead.
What's up?
All right, so this is going to take us into our next segment. We're going to do news or no news. That's where we are right now.
All right.
So 1, we got Juiced Kentucky Derby, the name of the horse. Winning horse.
That's the name of the horse. The horse was juiced. The horse
was juiced. Okay, he was juiced, and he won the Kentucky Derby, and it's raising prospect for disqualification. What do you
failed the
think?
drug test. He failed the drug test. That's total news. The better part about the whole thing is that the owner of the horse is blaming wokeism for the reason why he failed. The horse failed the fucking exam.
Huh?
I'm like, bruh. And it just got cleared for the Preakness.
Okay.
So I say it's news because obviously they're still using drugs in racing, horse racing, and obviously no one's even looking at the horse racing industry. We're just worried about humans juicing and not so worried about horses juicing. And I think it's news because it should be looked at.
I say it's no news if all of them are doing it. If they're all doing it, he's just the best one out of that group of horses that's juiced. So, fuck him. It's just like the Lance Armstrong shit. Lance Armstrong was juicing, and when they did the whole testing of all the blood the correct way, you went all the way down to the 19th guy who was clean. So, like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna give the guy who was in 19th place the first place trophy? No. If you have 2 through 17 that were juicing, just Lance Armstrong was just the best one out of all of them. So if this horse is juicing, they're probably all juicing. So I'm fine with it.
No, it's the same thing that I think that we should let all the steroids guys into the Hall of Fame. They were all juicing. Pitchers were juicing. Batters were juicing.
Everybody.
So what the fuck does it matter? And then the best of the best were Roger Clemens and I guess Alex Rodriguez. Or who would you pick out of that juice era? Manny Ramirez? Would you say Mark McGwire?
Well, Manny did it. Supposedly Manny never juiced. Manny Ramirez said he never juiced.
He was on the report though.
No. Oh man, sorry. Manny Ramirez, yes. I thought you were talking about Pedro Martinez.
Yeah, no.
I would let them all in. All of them.
No, I know. Who did you think was the best juicer during that era? Who hit the most home runs while being juiced?
Probably Barry Bonds.
Okay, that's actually true. Yeah. He fucking smacked everybody.
763. Yeah.
They walked him. That's how bad his shit was. He didn't even get a chance to fucking bat.
He was already Super Saiyan. He just went extra out of this world Super Saiyan because he was already a great hitter, great home run hitter, great everything.
Everybody knows he was a Hall of Famer before he even juiced.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So news or no news? Ellen DeGeneres calls it quits after reports of toxic work environment come out, all the drama, blah blah blah.
I just say
Ellen's show is over. News or no news?
I think I say it's news just because she quit. I think she just fell to public pressure, and I didn't know that she was making almost $50 million a year from just the show.
That's times 20 years, by the way.
Yep.
She's good.
So the way I see it is just like she just probably like, you know what? I'm fucking filthy rich. I don't gotta deal with these fucking soft ass millennials and Gen Y people come trying to work for me. If I tell you, give me a fucking latte, give me a fucking latte. Like the fuck? Like I guarantee you it's not as bad as they made it seem. You got people who, if somebody talks to you the wrong way or somebody talks to you in the wrong tone, people have their panties in a bunch and act like little bitches. So I think she's just like, fuck it. That's my thing. I just say it's news because of that. I just think she quit, in my opinion. I think she probably loved what she was doing. It was like, I'm out.
All right, I got a couple things for this. So first of all, I say it's no news because I don't give a flying fuck about talk show, daytime shit. Doesn't matter. You've been on for 20 years. To be honest with you, Oprah did it the best. I don't know why everybody else be trying to ride her coattails. What is it Dr. Who? What's the dude? Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil, I don't give a flying fuck about. I thought Jerry Maguire was dope. Not Jerry Maguire. What's the guy? Jerry
Springer.
Jerry Springer. His shit was dope only because they were fighting and all that other shit, and it was like trashy. Outside of that, I don't care. So I say no news. I think it's news though, the toxic work environment. Only because I've been in a few, and it's kind of tough to work on that because the problem is that you can't, let's say if you were my boss, right? Mm-hmm. And he was like, yo D, go get me that fucking drink. Is it okay for me to all right, bitch, I'll go get it right now. Right? So that's why I think it's fucked up. Because if I can say, yo, bitch, I'll get it right now, then we good. But I can't. And so I think that's kind of the problem. Now, I'm technically a millennial, but I've worked with everybody and in all industries.
What if I'm testing you to see how you are?
I get that. So what? I gotta be eating shit for 10 years for you?
You're supposed to. Everybody does. You're supposed to. You have to be in the dirt, in the ground up.
I don't know.
Now,
I feel like it's an
if
old
so-
school style of thinking, and I'm not even a fucking woke guy.
but what I'm
I
saying
just
is
think
you have a lot
I'm
of,
not you.
but you have a lot of people who, let's say for instance, if you do some type of work for free, right? If there's a lot of people who their stories of being super successful start off that they were in the trenches for 10 years, eight
I get
years,
that. I
eating
know.
dog shit over and
I-
over and over and over again, and then they popped and they're super successful, making lots and lots of money. Again, what if I'm testing you? What if it just, I'm gonna see how this person is. Can they handle somebody who has this type of thing?
I mean, that's a fair argument.
Like-
I just want to make sure that that's the sentiment sent by these guys. Because like I said, I've got motherfuckers where I'm like, yo, bro, say that shit one more time and I'll stab you.
But
You know what I mean?
what I'm saying is like, now what if you were to check her and she's like, okay, I like that. Now you're gonna be in charge of something, this thing. Like I don't know. Again, we don't know what people's.
Was that supposed to be the result?
I don't know.
Right? See,
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I fucked up. I should have been like, yo, bitch, I'm on that right now.
I'm saying I don't know what the thing is. I'm just saying like,
I got you.
What
I
is
get it.
what is somebody's working environment that, let's say if you were supposed to get something for a guest and you didn't get it, and she was like, yo, what the fuck? This is the 5th time you did this shit. Could it be that?
Right? True.
Could it
There's a lot of
be-
ways to look at it.
That's what I'm
There's a lot
saying.
of ways to look at it.
Could it
I
be that
agree.
she scared the shit out of somebody because she likes to do
there
scary
was-
shit?
See, getting coffee, bitch, is different than some of the other allegations that were coming out, because apparently one of her, like, and I'm saying this loosely, player personnel guys was gay and was like hitting on the males. They had like even a sexual harassment thing underlining that. Like, they were, the Ellen DeGeneres show was a shit show. I'm gonna say this, definitely no news in the sense of the show, but I think Homegirl peaked at Dory. All right, next.
We got Conor McGregor made $180 million in 2020. That's the
think?
highest sports prize.
So I go news only because, man, a lot of motherfuckers made money during COVID. And by the way, I just tasted for the first time Proper. Is that what it's called?
Proper 12.
Yeah, not bad. It's like Johnny Walker Red.
I don't like Johnny Walker Red.
Oh yeah, but you're not an old head yet. That's when you get old. It's like
But red is like the dookie.
I know.
Yeah,
I
got
get
green,
that.
red, black, gold, blue.
Yeah. There's a yellow in there too, I think.
Yeah, they had gold. I mean, we drank red.
Gold. Yeah. Remember.
I'm saying,
Yeah,
so you have green, red, black, gold,
gold.
and then blue, and then in between you have like the platinum edition or whatever the case may be. But red, we used to do red because it was cheaper, and that shit used to come out your fucking pores. So no.
What I want to know is what the fuck besides the liquor. So I say news.
Yeah.
All of this motherfuckers is getting paid. But what else did he get paid for? 180 million. Yo, Conor be killing it. Is he got like an endorsement deal with clothing?
He has a couple of endorsements, and also he made a lot of money from Proper 12, and then they just sold it, I think, for like $1 billion or some shit like that.
See. I'll be telling fools, get into the liquor game, the beer game. You got to be multifaceted. You know, one.
So I
thing
say his news because it's dope because you got a guy who was on welfare.
I was just gonna say humble beginnings. Speaking about somebody scrapping.
Somebody eating shit, eating dirt, for 10 years, 15 years, and then made it, and his hard work paid off. So I say news. I think it's dope. I'm always in support of people getting money, and in a positive, legal way, and keep going, man. I hope next year he makes $400 million.
Yo, I forgot to put this one in, and I'm gonna put it in. So, Joe Buttons, right, kicks off. You heard about it?
Yeah.
He kicks off his 2 co-hosts. News or no news that the show's probably gonna tank now?
I say no news. I think the show is still him.
Right. But those were the guys on the couch and in the chair. Like, they were carrying it too.
True,
That's
but
not entirely true that it was his show. It's his name on the show. Right? It's like saying it's Howard Stern without Robin Gibbons. No.
Probably not, but you could have got anybody to be Robin Gibbons, is what I'm saying.
Could you have gotten anybody to be Jamie?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right. So basically, you could have put anyone there and they would have been a character because of you making them a character.
Or you're giving that leeway for that person to be themselves.
Okay, gotcha.
You understand what I'm saying? So then people are going to relate and build that rapport with that person. Because people are not going to know who the fuck you are.
All right. He put basically no-namers on.
Exactly.
Right?
And then at the end of the day, he already been had this started like 2013, 2014, and then they jumped into the scene, 3 years later. So it's not like they were in the dirt with him from jump.
Back to the dirt thing. Got you. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like, and then at the end of the day, when you went to work with him, it's his.
Right. That's true. It was.
You know?
It says it's the Joe Button show.
and he was hitting you guys off for bread. And from what came out, supposedly is if you give him bread, if you bring deals to the show, you get to eat more of them, whatever comes in.
So they were getting mad because he was bringing shit and they wanted to eat more.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. So that sounds great.
So then he's always like, if you watch some of the show, they always kind of ragging on him, kind of thing. And
the two dudes are ragging on Buttons.
Yeah, kind of.
Ragging on them.
No,
yeah,
they,
kind of.
like they back and forth, but like if you're not a successful A-list rapper, people are gonna
turn on you 100%.
So
Buttons has got like 2 hot songs.
Exactly.
And one of the 2 was him dissing somebody.
Exactly.
If not both of them were.
So that's what I'm saying. I think it's only news in the sense of when you're going to go work for somebody who's already has something established and built, and they're not giving you ownership when you sign up in the beginning, it's something different, or if you had that conversation with them and you're bringing value. So let's say if I had 100,000 followers and I bring all my 100,000 followers to the show, and then that shows, or we had 200,000, now we had 300,000 followers now. And, every time I put out a tweet or I put out an Instagram post, we see significant growth, or every time I bring a deal in, it's a $5 million deal. Then you could reevaluate of how the structure of the show goes and what percentages go where. But from what from his perspective is like, y'all always ragging on me. Yeah, I'm funding everything. You guys step off the set.
And I'm still grinding out here.
Exactly. And you just leave the show. So,
by the way, turn back on your mic from your Instagram thing. I think it turned off for a second there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. I wanted to say another thing. News or no news that he has them on the contract, and they might not be able to make a podcast of their own.
Oh, no news. He's a smart business guy. All the business guys have that. But okay. You non-compete.
Right. Okay. Awesome. I just thought it was funny. So this one I put this one in here for you. Michael Jordan, news or no news, Michael Jordan refuses to erase Kobe Bryant text. He says, I just can't delete it. What do you think? News or no news?
It's news just because it just shows how close they were. They didn't flaunt it out into the public. It wasn't like, hey, I just text Jordan on Sunday. Excuse me. On Sunday. It was something where, there was a personal thing, and it's fucking freaking me out talking about it right now. In 7 months, 8 months, it's already about to be 2 years. Kobe's passing. So like, it's still an unreal thing when somebody who's a dope ass fucking human being, bounces in a tragic way. So maybe he just hits him deeply, just like he still has that with his pops, So I say it's news because of that.
I know it's interesting. I say it's news too because I don't think Michael Jordan allows people to see how emotional he could be, and obviously he's an emotional dude, right? Like he's just known as this like incredible competitor.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, he's obviously a human too. So I thought that was definitely news. I'll put that in there for you. All right, I didn't even put the last name. I should have put this so you would have known. So Colin Kaepernick is going to be releasing a book that's calling to abolish the police. News or no news?
I say it's news just because he's an idiot. I in the beginning I'm still with him in a sense of, he's just bringing light to something that a lot of people in the minority neighborhoods had to, prepare for, dealing with the police in their neighborhood, where it could be either police harassment, police brutality, misfiring, gun charges, shooting people, kind of thing, civilians. But like, why are you not talking to the people? Why is it this
been this shit for a while? Not just Colin, all of them, everybody.
Like, why is it this cryptic like text kind of thing? Why are you not on Joe Rogan? Why are you not on Fox News? Why are you not on CNN? Why are you not, on all these platforms? Why are you not on every top podcast? Why don't you have your own podcast so you could get your points across with nobody taking your words out of context? Like, It just
I'm wondering at this point, and this is gonna get me in trouble with my peoples that are listening. I'm wondering at this point if it's just a money grab for him. You
well,
know,
like
that's what
here,
was argued. That was what's been argued from the beginning. Okay, let's get out of the way. You brought light to something and you did it in the most nicest way possible. I got that. Okay, you've also done some amazing charitable things, right? Like get suits for prisoners so that they can, maybe find themselves better assimilated into the world. But now it seems like you did you sued the NFL, you got your money, right? Okay, cool. The NFL tried to get you back in the league. They said, "Hey, practice here." Okay? But she was like, "Nah. I'm going to go practice where I want to practice. If you guys want to see me practice, then you go there." And then he has all his media and everything set up for him, right? When it was I get it. I'm just laying the groundwork, right? And then now you're selling a book abolishing the police. It just seems like as the stories build, it might have started from one spot saying this one thing, and then it because some of the insiders that I have were saying that it was his shorty who pushed him to say that shit
I could possibly see that
in the beginning when he took the knee. So he's taking credit for something that probably wasn't even really his idea, even though it was a dope idea, right? Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, now it's coming out that there's more sides to this, and I'm just saying, like, first of all, abolish the police. You said it last week. Abolish the police is gonna kill the hood. It's not gonna kill fucking the Hamptons. It's not gonna kill Beverly Hills. It's gonna kill the hood. And now, that's my homegirl Case Mine, but fucking the vagrants are everywhere, bro. Downtown LA is shit. Downtown fucking NY is crazy. Like, abolish the police. We're already having motherfuckers shoot people in broad daylight with no problem.
No fucks given.
So I hope it's a piece where you want to give your viewpoint on how to abolish the police, but again, and Uncle Salty will say this, the messaging about abolish the police, defund the police from the Democratic side is terrible. And we need to be reforming the police. But I looked this shit up too to add more insult to injury, and we'll get back to Cap real quick. The NYPD, bro, spends $4.95 billion. What in the fuck are you guys doing? There's no innovation. Is that all overtime money? That's disgusting. And in like second place, I think it's LA, and LA is like at 120. Yeah, they're not even close.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, anyways, I say it's news because Cap is just continuing to rock in the boat. When I agree with you, you should be out there. You should be canvassing hoods. You should be, maybe not the hoods because we talked about Nipsey getting shot, but maybe you should go to be, to these community leaders trying to meet people. You should be up in Minnesota, hard body right now, right? You should be in Atlanta.
Yep. Or even it should be in all the cities that
are having problems.
So peep this stat. I just saw this the other day too. So there's 200 countries in the world, right? That they did this statistic is for. So it's 200 countries in the world. America is number 4 in the world in gun violence, right?
Sure.
Now, if we took out the top 6 cities in America that has the most gun violence, America will be 190 something. So that's like New York, Chicago, I think Atlanta,
LA, right? All the spots
all the tough neighborhoods, and then all the tough neighborhoods have the strictest gun laws, and they're all run by Democrats.
I know.
All of them. So that's an alarming stat that people need to wake up to. What are we doing in these neighborhoods to change it up? And hopefully, like in his book, the title might say abolish the police, but maybe abolish the ideology of the bad
maybe
police.
It's a play on word.
Yeah, for sure. All right, now we have Logan Paul sparred with 4 Gronk brothers while training for the Floyd flight. What's your thoughts on that?
I say no news. I mean, I know that those Bostonian crazy drinking motherfuckers probably are a problem to beat up, but that is not Floyd Mayweather. I hope you fought all 4 of them simultaneously. Then maybe we got something. I got a crazy hot take on this thing. I feel like Floyd is gonna throw the fight.
I don't think so.
It's not sanctioned, so if he loses, it's not a big deal.
But
the only reason why I say this is because granted, look, Floyd would never want to take a payday. Homeboy is filthy rich, right? He has one of the best gambling averages on the planet. He lays down, like Floyd doesn't have to do this. So that's making me wonder why he's doing it. And 2, like they could be like, yo, just fall. We won't make it look too bad. We'll give you a percentage of the company. And then Floyd Mayweather plus Jones Part 2. You rock them, and you own the company. Like, I just feel like some shenanigans is going to happen here. But back to the thing I say, it's no news that he's boxing the brothers. I just don't know why Floyd would book this.
So think of it as like this. Think of it as one of your kids, right? If you could just pin your kid down, let's say you're wrestling, and pin him down 1, 2, 3, and you would win $100 million. That's what Floyd thinks of people who are not boxers, because he outboxes you. Now, also think of it in a sense of, if you're walking down the street, you find $1, you're gonna pick up the dollar. If somebody comes to your company and says, here's $100 million, your base price is $100 million, you're going to make off a fight. And it's an exhibition fight, and you know nobody could touch you. Why wouldn't you take it? It's $100 million that somebody's giving you. It makes no sense not to do it.
I get it, but apparently, like, this company doesn't even have any fucking money. So I don't.
Well, remember, it won't be that. It'll be Hublot. It'll be MGM Grand. That'll be a $20 million patch here, a $50 million patch here.
That's true.
The pay-per-view views in the back end because of Floyd Mayweather. You know, he'll get a percentage of that. You know, it'll be the venue. Where is it going to be? And I guarantee you it's going to be in a venue where it's going to be full capacity. So you get a percentage of the beer, the tickets, the merchandise. It's all that, the streams, where it's going to be streamed on. All of that, it's easy money. And why not take it?
On a funny note, right? News or no news, Ocho Cinco's fighting in that.
It's news. Just I feel like I know he's gonna be a character. You know, he's gonna do something funny. We just still don't know who he's gonna fight.
Right, we don't know. Okay. So again, with the brothers, the Paul brothers, they're taking the Floyd Mayweather threats real. So they got 24-hour security. News or no news?
No news. It just employs to sell the fight, just to make it seem like they're victims or something. Stop being bitches.
Facts. Okay. This was like huge, and I guess it's because no diversity in the award ceremony. But news or no news, the Golden Globes are canceled.
No news. Nobody even cares about it.
Correct.
To be honest,
I don't care.
And it'll be probably some dumbass show or some dumbass movie that nobody watched, that was filmed in a fucking hole in Israel or in fucking India somewhere, where nobody cares, and it's gonna win the awards, just like all the other fucking movies that come out or shows that come out.
Okay. I know we touched on this last week, but I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. News or no news, Tim Tebow makes the starting roster under the Jags. Remember, he's still got to make the cut.
Well, it hasn't happened yet, so
they signed him.
They signed him, but he's still not a guarantee for the roster spot.
Correct. So I'm saying, what do you think? You think it'll be news if he makes it, or no news if he doesn't make it?
It'll be news if he makes it, just because it could show, his football mental, athleticism and IQ. And people are misconstruing this. You want somebody who's gonna be like have this optimism and say, "Yo, boys, we're still in this game. We can still fight. We can still fucking win this game." Like, I know it's college, but he won 2 back-to-back, and then the first one that he lost, they went to 3 in a row. The first one that he lost, he said, "I promise I'll never fucking let you guys down again." And
I'd follow him to hell, bro. That guy's a beast.
Exactly, and I think that's what they need. And Urban Meyer knows him, knows how to get the best out of him, and and even to this day, I feel like he didn't get a fair shake. Because he got taken out by Peyton Manning. But let's see what he could do.
It can't hurt.
If he fails, so what? You go get somebody else.
Yeah, I say news either way. If he makes the team, it's news. I say if he doesn't make the team, it's news too. I think it's crazy for him to be trying to still play at a professional level almost 10 years later, right? Because it's been a hot minute. Try to make it as a Met. That didn't work out. I think he just didn't find an organization that knew how to design an offense for him. I'm interested to see how he plays that in.
Yep.
Do you think he throws it down in the NFL? Do you think he throws a pass in the NFL? It's gonna be.
I would assume he'll have a trick play in there somewhere.
All right, cool. News or no news? Yankees and Padre players are testing positive for COVID.
No news. They're all gonna beat it. No problem. They're all elite athletes with state of the art medical facilities and pretty sure 24/7 healthcare.
It's funny, man. This guy's had a kind of a rough year on the low. I wonder if the MLB The Show now has a jinx on it, like
With Tatis?
Madden jinx used to be. Yeah, because Tatis, training camp fucks up the shoulder, regular season fucks up the shoulder, now gets COVID. It's been a tough year for my guy, and he started hitting like crazy. I think he hit like 5 or 6 home runs in like 2 weeks, massive RBIs. Telling people that they can't see me.
Yep, I love that about him.
Yeah, just doing it all the good things. All right, that ends the news and no news segment. That's definitely one of our faves. This one again, we'll try to tighten it up a little bit more next week. Now we're gonna jump into around the leagues, where we talk about NFL, MLB, NHL, NBA, any of the sports, but it's usually the top 3. So right out the gate, the NFL drops the schedule. Any games that you're like crazy about? I put the Bucks play the Bills. I mean the Pats. Is that going to be a game that everybody's going to want to watch?
That's week 4, if I'm not mistaken, right? Do you think there is
I believe so.
I think it's going to be an interesting year. I think it's like they were saying, Baker Mayfield versus Patrick Mahomes week 1. I feel bad because the Browns, they're trying to get on the right track, but they haven't won a game 1 in 17 years. An opening day game in 17 years. So it's like you're getting right back into some fuckboy shit right away. Like your team got 9 new starters on defense. You're about to find your way, and Patrick Mahomes is undefeated in his whole career in the month of September. So like fuck, you want to start off on the right foot. Anything with Tom Brady, I hope he runs it again. I want my Giants to win. But if not, Tom Brady, I want to keep seeing greatness. I want to see homeboy talking about he wants to play till 50. So yeah, I can't wait. I'm excited about that.
I'm excited too. I kind of PO'd that they send the Jets to London. That's gonna be Atlanta, New York. I don't understand why are we still doing the whole London experience.
Is it at London? I mean, is it an Atlanta game or is it a New York game?
At an Atlanta game.
Okay, so they sign off on it, the Falcons.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Because if you peep this, right? It was always the Jags. But now they got Trevor Lawrence. So they don't want that money to go over there. They want the money to stay here. And they're gonna, since Florida's like, fuck you, we leaving everything open. You're gonna get all the money here. If you want to come see Trevor Lawrence, you're gonna have to come to Jacksonville and come see Trevor Lawrence play here. So that's
pretty smart. That's pretty smart. And have you seen anything about Bob? Oh, go ahead, finish up, and I'll ask you next.
And I just think that the Falcons are just gonna have. I think Matt Ryan might be the quarterback to take off the board this year. If NFL fantasy, I think they're gonna score 30, 40 points a game because they're gonna have no defense.
That's a fair point of view, especially now with them getting one of the best tight ends in the last few draft. Hopefully Julio could be regenerated by that. My favorite guy on the whole planet is Calvin Ridley. So they're going to be tossing it. I still think that you need a run game in the NFL. So I don't know how much that's going to be working. So, but we'll see how it all trends out for them. Have you seen anything on? Have you seen any footage on homeboy from New York, the BYU kid Zach Wilson? Because he's looking fresh, and we got a whole bunch of good players, bro. They're going crazy. I'm geeking out on my guys right now. Just looking good.
I'll wait till preseason. We're gonna see when game speed. We're gonna see an actual situation. Social media will make anybody look good. Like Tim Tebow looked good on in games, social media. So like anybody's gonna look good. If I'm a fan of anything New York, so if New York sports teams are thriving, New York is thriving. I'm a Giants fan. I'm a Yankees fan. But if the Knicks are in it now, if the Jets could, do something in the AFC and the Giants could do something in the NFC, that'd be fucking dope. Have a, New York Super Bowl. I don't think it's ever been done. That'd be something fire. So if the kid pans out and everybody's saying that he has something special, I hope so. But it's everything. We'll see. You see how
Yeah, I
you
mean,
guys
we
get punched in the
always know
mouth.
the paper always looks good, right? Like you fucking put the paper and you're like, this fucking team is gonna win. Speaking about the paper, right? I even put this in our thing. Who I already know the answer that you're gonna give, but who on paper you think is the best team in the NFL going into the season?
We got the Chiefs for sure, and then the Bucks
Right? Those are the top two.
for sure. You get it's
It's a
'cause you got,
no-brainer almost.
yeah. I think it might be even in a repeat, barring any injuries again. You know, it might
Like
be
same Super Bowl again, you saying?
it might be a back, a rematch of the Super Bowl.
Wow, that would be
Just
sick.
just because they they rejuvenized the Kansas City's O line. They did
Did
a
you see that? That was fantastic.
they did a fantastic job. I just felt like it was fucked up because they took a guy who needs a left tackle in Lamar Jackson,
Correct. Yes.
and then they gave it to Patrick Mahomes. So
But they still got him another left tackle. They just got him rookie left tackle, which might not be good.
that's what I'm saying. So you have a proven left tackle for your quarterback who you're about to give X and Y and Z money to.
I'm telling you right now, they're not going to sign Lamar Jackson.
You don't think so?
Nope. Why would you do that? Why would you take away the best left tackle on the planet? Like, if this is the best guy to hold this dude down, why would you give him away? Aren't we trying to build upon this? Listen, all these guys, they won't admit it, right? Bucky Brooks, Mel Kiper, all of these other analysts, even my favorite, I don't know why, the Herd, they got contacts in the NFL. You don't think the NFL guys are talking to them and like, yo, probably moving off of Lamar. Yeah, here, run this story.
Probably.
Right? And to me, the kiss of death in the NFL is when they say they're gonna do something. So when they be like, yo, this is my guy, you're done. And they already said they're gonna pick up Lamar's fifth year option. They're not going to. And
No,
like you said,
well, they are. They're all gonna do it, but I don't think they're gonna give him the extension.
Right. He's not gonna get 25 minutes. He's not gonna get a Patrick Mahomes or Deshaun Watson contract. That's not.
And that's gonna be the tough part. I guarantee you they franchise him twice.
Really?
Yeah, I think they're gonna franchise him twice.
It's an interesting situation, also on a conversational standpoint, because if you basically don't feed homeboy, he's gonna have to ball the fuck out just like Kirk Cousins did. Because Kirk Cousins' 2 franchise years, he was fucking killing on a shitty ass team. And Lamar, I mean, I hate to say it, but if he obviously they didn't get him no weapons. He got no wide receivers out of this draft. He got
they
no
got
type.
one. They got the kid Bateman from is it Minnesota or some shit?
Yeah, who cares, bro? Go get me somebody that was in the top 5, and then we'll talk. Anyways, let's move on. Let's do it. Okay, this one you're gonna love this one, bro. So did you see the story? Because you brought it up, and then I digged a little deeper. So you were telling me on how the Bills were now making the stadium that you had to have COVID to get into the building, and then they were forcing the players if you didn't get the restriction, if you didn't get the vaccine, you couldn't play. Cole Beasley goes bananas on social, saying like all this shit is a joke. The contract tracing shit is a joke, and specifically speaking to contract tracing, when he was like, "Bro, I could have been next to a dude for an hour, and now all of a sudden I can't play the game because I was next to him," and then he might have had a false negative. So like, I just wanted to get some of your thoughts on how the sports are handling this, because I feel like KD was a victim of this too earlier in the season.
I feel like I've been on the right side of this since I've gotten enough information dating back last year, May, June, July, where all the data was coming in and the world was actually working together to find, put data together. It's a fucking joke. I think it's a fucking joke that you have on the NBA, you got fucking guys spread out from each other. These elite class, world class athletes who would beat the flu, beat the common cold, would beat COVID, which it showed all of last year or whenever an athlete got it, he's right to be upset. Like, how the fuck you got the balls to come out and say, as the Bills GM say, that if you're not vaccinated, that can mess with your eligibility to be on a roster? What kind of fucked up shit is that? I wouldn't want to play for that organization. If you're going to tell me that something that's 99.9% survival rate, and you're going to tell me that is going to predetermine that I have to get a shot, and especially like a young guy, a young kid, we don't know the ramifications of this vaccine yet. We don't know if 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, if you're gonna get a lung cancer or pancreatic something with your pancreas or something, something a back issue with the people who taking the COVID vaccine. We don't know yet. And to say that you're gonna force these guys, hey, listen, if you don't take the vaccine, you're gonna be out on your dream. What are you gonna do with a 20-year-old? Coming into the league, a 21-year-old. Because I guarantee you, if Tom Brady says, "Suck my dick, I'm not taking the vaccine," guess what? Tom Brady's not taking the fucking vaccine. Now, what are you gonna do in the Bills if you have Josh Allen says, "I'm not taking the vaccine," and Stephon Diggs says, "I am taking the vaccine"? So, like, what is it now? Now, what if you have a fringe player who's a project who's showing glimpses of being good? Now, oh, I'm not getting the vaccine. All right, now you're out. I'm cutting you because you want to get somebody who's going to take the vaccine. It's like, how are you going to let something like this dictate what you're doing?
In the NBA, is it mandatory to have the vaccine?
No.
All those guys are not vaccinated.
No. But again, I always say
I'm just saying, like, because now who knows if they try to bring this into the game, because they've been trying to fucking get us vaccinated to have a passport, and now they're doing like you can't watch a San Francisco Giants game unless you're vaccinated, right? You have the Miami Heat making vaccinated sections. Now the NFL is going to come in and, let's say the Buffalo Bills lead on this front and say, well, if you're not vaccinated, you can't even come in the building. And then now if you're not vaccinated, you can't play for us. Right? Like, that's crazy on how that whole thing just went bananas in that front in less than a year.
Because it's like, how are you not? You're a $1 billion machine. Each franchise is its own $1 billion machine. The NFL is its own $1 billion machine. Why are we not just being honest with the fucking information? Say, hey guys, listen, if you don't get the vaccine, you're cool. If you get the vaccine, here are the numbers with the vaccine of what we got right now. Here's how many people get it. Here's a survival rate if you get COVID. Here's what happens when you do get COVID. Lay all these things out and let people just make the decision for them. Stop forcing fucking people to do something just to be in it. And like right now, people still don't even know this. The vaccine is not FDA approved. I will say that again. The vaccine is not FDA approved. If you're at a company or if you're at a job location, they cannot force you to get a vaccine. It is illegal for them to force you to take a vaccine. Even if they can encourage it to get the vaccine, but it's not mandatory. So when all these guys come out and say a company says, yo, you have to get a vaccine, tell them bullshit, and you can sue them for trying to force you to get the vaccine. Now with Cole Beasley, he's right. What if there was a vaccine or something that he was allergic to something in it, and you can't play because you have to be forced to do it. So now you got borderline veterans already get cut, period, and get cut to save money. Now what if a veteran says, I'm not getting the vaccine? You're going to cut the veteran? You're going to cut these young guys coming up? So I don't know, man. The NBA, they pissed me off too. The MLB is corny too. You're outdoors. Why the fuck are people wearing masks? You're outdoors. You got people playing shortstop with masks on. That's fucking lunacy. And people like, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm with you. It is a little strange. I like getting you hot and crazy. We're gonna temper it down because I want to get a couple more things in here before we dip out. So LBJ supposedly, according to the NBA.com, might make it back for Saturday. If he makes it for Saturday's game, can he save the LA Lakers?
He just needs to be 100% for the playoffs. They're in the playoffs, so he just needs to worry about that.
Okay. He shouldn't be rushing.
Yeah, I don't think. I find it weird the injury that he got, the way how he got the injury. But if he says he's hurt, he's hurt.
You think he's just taking time off?
Maybe.
Why you find it weird then? Because you don't think the injury that he got would have been so severe?
Because looking at how he got the injury, it didn't look that bad.
Was it a non-contact injury?
No, like somebody fell on his foot, but it wasn't like it didn't turn like that. Like his ankle didn't turn. So it was it's weird. Like if you see the video, you're like, he got hurt off that.
Gotcha.
So it's a little fishy. But who knows? Listen, he deserves, if he wants to play half the season, he deserves it. He's like, yo, I'll meet you guys in February. I'm pulling up February. Just make sure you keep this shit 500. When I pull up, I'm gonna say we're gonna be in the playoffs, then we'll take off from there. I think he's deserved that. He's earned that right, going at 8 straight finals. You know, carrying bum guys. You know, you deserve whatever time you want to take off.
That's why again it's surprising to me. Bring it back to homeboy that he was left off the all-time list. Like nobody's played with lesser teams than LeBron.
But interesting stat here. Peep this.
Tell me.
The top 10 NBA champion teams with the least help was Michael Jordan with his three-peat. He had the least supporting cast where they scored only like 42 points a game. His supporting cast. So when they be like, oh, Jordan or LeBron didn't have that much help, blah, 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 blah. Jordan did it. He won 3 chips, and all of them only averaged, his entire team averaged like 45 points in the finals. His supporting cast. So, Crimea River.
But could that have been that homeboy's a ball hog?
That could be that too, but it doesn't matter. He still had a supporting cast that didn't average that many points.
Okay, that's fair. All right. This weekend, AD goes off. Why? Question A is why he's not playing like this all the time, and question B is if he played like this, would they not be as worried? Because I feel like he flips the switch every now and then. Sometimes he plays amazing, and then most of the time he doesn't play amazing.
I think it's just a weird year. I think remember they only had a month and a half, 2 months off.
Yeah, right. Which was stupid on the NBA's
For
department.
the Lakers because they won the chip. You know, Lakers and Heat. So who knows? Maybe he partied a little too hard. You know, for that month, and then it was like, you know what? Listen, I got LeBron. We're gonna be in the playoffs, and once the playoffs comes around, I'll turn up. So who knows if he has that mentality?
That's true. I mean, especially he's a beast too. He could turn it up too, right? If fucking LeBron comes back and he comes back and they both score 40 each, it's game over.
But he's always been the type of guy who's always got little knick-knack injuries.
I'm not impressed. I have not been impressed with. I thought he was great coming out of college, but do you think he's lived up to his hype?
He's a great player, but he's not like a once in a generational talent dude, you know?
All right, I got you. Okay, another thing. Jeannie Buss keeps Jerry West off her whole all-time Laker list. He was sad. Should he have been sad, or does he not make the cut on the all-time Lakers? Because what? Kareem, Magic. I didn't look at the list, but I would just guess. Kareem, Magic, Kobe. You put Shaq at 4? In no specific order.
Yeah.
Shaq a great Laker, right?
Yeah.
OBJ. That's it. Who else would? Jerry West is 6, if anything, right?
Yeah. I guess he's just talking it from a sense of the relationship he had with her.
I get all of that.
I'm
but
pretty sure.
If he's saying, I know how he's looking at it, but if we looked at it from a different lens and said all-time Lakers, did I miss anybody at 5?
Well, I wouldn't say LBJ because LBJ's only been his 3rd year now. He won 1 chip with the Lakers.
If you take him off, who would you put instead?
You could put Wilt Chamberlain.
Right. Okay. After Will, who else could you put on?
You know, you have Jerry West. You leave there, and the list gets short after that. Michael Thompson, maybe. Yeah, it gets
Ori.
Ori.
Gary Payton, no.
No, shot. They didn't win nothing.
I know. So then West kind of is right then.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think it's.
If you take off Shaq, because Shaq was everywhere, it'd be like Wilt, Magic, Lou Alcindor, Kobe, and Jerry.
Yeah, again, also, he's been an architect of championships.
In massive teams, bro.
So
he's a fucking logo.
So he's a logo. He's the one who like
put together Golden State. He
put together the Lakers early. He got Shaq. He traded for Kobe. Golden State. And people don't notice this either. He had a stint in Phoenix. And the stint in Phoenix, he put the team together, and they had Goran Dragic. No. It was the Phoenix Suns. It was probably 9 years ago. They had Eric Bledsoe and Goran Dragic. They were called the Slash Brothers. And that team didn't make the playoffs because everybody in the West that year had like 50 wins and up, like 1 through like 11, and they didn't make the playoffs. But he was the architect behind that, and then that following year they made the playoffs, and they were ascending, and then for whatever reason that fell apart. But then you got Golden State. Now he's with the Lake. He's with the Clippers. Again, who knows if she was just being petty, in a sense of what fallout he had probably with the organization, and where he's with the Clippers now too. So who knows if she's being petty?
Well. Yeah. Okay. All right. This is huge because I have no idea why this didn't break the internet. Mark Lowry and A-Rod buy the Timberwolves.
Yep, I saw that. I thought she was fucking insane.
That's fucking bananas.
Big props to my man A-Rod. You know,
seriously, and I'm not even a fan like that because it's kind of douchey. You know, I was listening to this thing on I was gonna say Dan Balzerian, but it's not Dan Balzerian. What's the Miami reporter? Dan Le Batard. Dan Le Batard had a Marlins executive on talking mad shit. It was super dope on Le Batard's podcast, and he said A-Rod and Jeter were both trying to buy the Marlins. And so now I find it interesting that A-Rod goes to basketball, which is crazy. I wonder how much money, if it's just them two, or is it like a Jay-Z thing?
I'm pretty sure.
It's like, you think it's like he only owns a percentage?
I think it's his group, the A-Rod court probably, bought a percentage. Bought the whole team, and then like, I'm pretty sure it's a group. Like,
isn't Mark Lowry the owner of the Philadelphia Eagles?
Yeah, but it's not him though. Is it? Jeffrey Lowry is the
Jeffrey Lowry, right? So this is Mark Lore. All right, so
it's his business partner.
Crazy. That's crazy.
I think it's dope. I think it's
sick.
I hope, I love to see my Latinos winning. Even though he said he's not Dominican, but that's a whole nother story. But she's not wrong.
For real.
Oh shit! What the fuck did I do?
You press buttons. You pressing buttons.
Yes,
Don't worry about it. I got you. We still seeing you. Hey, how's it going?
Oh shit! What the fuck just happened?
I like it. I like it when we crash towards the end.
Right towards the end, right?
Just take a second.
There we go. Back on, baby.
All right, press the button.
Again, I think it's dope. People don't notice, but A-Rod is a fucking juggernaut in the corporate world.
We just had it on our small thing versus because somebody was trying to argue with me who's more fucking powerful, J-Lo or A-Rod. I'm like, do you know what Alex Rodriguez has been doing besides baseball? His best friend is fucking Warren Buffett. Like, this dude is a titan when it comes to money. He's gonna be, in that upper echelon of, let's say, the Michael Jordan, and not so much as the play, but the off the field, finance game that homeboy is running. Because, man, if he becomes officially, like, let's say he becomes the head guy of the Timberwolves, bro, billionaire in no time.
I think he's already there now.
That's what I said. I couldn't believe when I looked him up. He's not a billionaire.
Again, I think it's just people whatever they recorded.
Right. Because I know we were saying that because he signed two $250 million contracts. Right there, that's $500 million, and he has mad equity in real estate. Right, like, come on. I don't know. A-Rod is cheap as fuck. I know he's not, and he's getting paid from ESPN.
And he gets bread from. He owns gyms. He has a gym chain around the whole country. So he got shit. And he's on Shark Tank. He's been on Shark Tank to I fuck with him, man. I hope. Yeah, I was pressing buttons, Pretzel.
I know, I seen that. I was about to say something like, yeah, fucking Hollow fucking pressing buttons fucking shit up over here. God damn.
But I think it's dope. I think it's, that team, hopefully they take it to the next level. And sneaky, they might relocate them.
Oh, I like this hot take. Where do you think they would go? Because wherever the fuck they at sucks. Nobody watches the Timberwolves. No one's cared about the Timberwolves since Kevin Garnett, excuse me. And so Minnesota, that's because I have to check my brain.
I'll keep it stacked. Maybe Las Vegas.
Ooh, my God. And one of my insiders believes the NBA is headed over there. Everybody's going to start going to Vegas. Now with the NFL moving the needle, he even thinks MLB.
Yep, they said the Oakland A's might be going to the thing. It just makes sense. It just makes sense. No, Minnesota's cold. It's rainy. It sucks. I think it should move it. I think you last bottom in the league in attendance all the time. Like you should put teams where they should be. A team also needs to go back to Seattle. The Seattle Supersonics were fire. The Seattle crowd.
Bro, they made fucking soccer popular.
Exactly.
Like, what the fuck? Same thing for Portland. I would even consider putting a spot in Portland, right?
Oh, they have the Trailblazers there already.
I got you, but I'm talking about, okay, so who's that baseball team? Any baseball team?
No. There's no baseball
Right.
team up there.
Basketball team?
They the Blazers, the Portland.
I'm sorry,
Trailblazers.
a football team.
No.
Nothing either. Right. So I'm just saying, like,
Well, they got the Oregon Ducks. That's the big thing, college town.
I'm just joking. Nike's up there. Maybe
Yeah.
that's enough. But I'm just saying the Pacific Northwest makes noise. So for sure, getting a team back in Seattle would be fire. I mean, I don't know what's up with the Mariners. No one really gives a fuck about them. But it could also be that the team stinks. I mean, the project that Robertson Cano was terrible.
Terrible. He should have never left. He should have been a Yankee forever. But I understand not giving him that money.
I agree too. And that's the thing now, right? Look at Pujols. Pujols just hit free agency, right? Like, I was just talking to shout out to Manny. We did a show together. You can't really justify that money
unless it begins a chip, one chip. The money isn't justified.
The only person who made the money right now in our close mind frame, Mookie Betts was worth every dollar. Outside of that, it hasn't really been anybody else.
And A-Rod,
right? And Tatis now is gonna have Tatis is gonna have to wait. He's gonna have to try to bring one home. If he doesn't bring one home, that was a waste because Bryce Harper's contract was a waste, right? That dude that they played massively in Baltimore, he ain't do jack shit.
Oh, Manny Machado took him out.
No, it was another guy. It was an outfielder. I forget what his name is. How about Giancarlo Stanton? That was ridiculous. Marlins didn't get anything, and the Yankees ain't getting shit out of that either.
I know, man. And he's always hurt. So hopefully he could finish the season.
I know.
He's always yoked.
All right. I was watching. We had a few cats on. I was seeing some of their comments and stuff. Thank you guys so much for hanging around this long with us. Hello, tell them what they need to do.
Make sure you guys smash that like button first, man. We're on our way. We're close to 100 subscribers. We're halfway there.
Somebody was teasing me.
Fuck it. Wait, 1 million subscribers. We're gonna start teasing them right back. So I ain't worried about that right now. I want to introduce this new segment.
Go ahead.
It's called "Here's Your Flowers," and it's based on basically giving people who are doing great things or are doing on any space, whether it be business, sports, entrepreneurs, anything.
Anything.
The person we're picking this week is Elon Musk. And I think for somebody, he's so polarizing and somebody whose words get twisted and made controversial. I just want to say, Elon Musk, I appreciate everything that you're doing for the human race, not just for in the United States, just for the human race in general, who you're inspiring, who's going to come up from seeing what you're doing and be like, you know what? Elon did it. If Elon could do it, I could probably do it. And I just want to say, congratulate you on starting to go your companies and pushing the needle forward. And I hope people could just learn from this and just appreciate the guy that why he's here. What makes me sad is when you see him with Michael Jackson, you see him with DMX, you see him with Prince, you see him with Kobe Bryant. A lot of people give their everybody loves them when they're not here anymore. I remember when Kobe Bryant won the Oscar, and the first thing that people said was, somebody wrote on Twitter, it was like, oh, but he's still a rapist. What does that have to do with anything? You had Michael Jackson's making more money dead than when he was alive. So I want to appreciate the people who we have here. And Elon Musk is one of those guys that this week that I hope one day we could interview him and chop it up with him for 10, 15, 20 minutes an hour. And take it away. What about you?
For sure, I'll stay on that train. Whether it's energy efficient vehicles, running homes off the grid with the batteries that he's got for either the vehicle or for the home, solar panels, which was unbelievable, Neuralink to try to help quadriplegics and some of the other stuff. I mean, obviously, we're just going to be talking about the good stuff and not the bad stuff. SpaceX. This guy overall is just such a G. His story, when you're talking about someone who was eating shit, I mean, a lot of people try to make, throw shade and make fun of, but this guy was one of the originally founders of PayPal, takes all his money and puts it into 3 different concepts: Solar City, SpaceX, and Tesla, and obviously grew it into something that we wouldn't even imagine what was happening when he was doing that. He couldn't pay his rent. He had to borrow some money to keep it going. He was there in the grind. He had 8 failed exploding rockets when he was trying to grind it out on SpaceX. The 9th hit. So just because you do something a couple times and don't hit it doesn't mean you should quit. that just means you should lean into it further. And you know, for me, he's just an all-time hero because he definitely just pushing the needle on some of the stuff that he does. And one of the biggest things that I take away from him is when someone tells you no, doesn't mean it's no. It's just they don't have the lens for it. They can't see it. You know what I mean? And it sucks because we're always trying to seek validation from people when you have a new idea or you have something cool and you want somebody to co-sign it, right? But I'll throw you this. The woman who invented Spanx didn't tell people her idea for 3 years. She's a billionaire.
Yep.
A billionaire. And I'm sure if she would have told somebody that she was going to cut holes in nylons, they would have said, no, that's not possible. That's a huge reason why I'm out here in California, because there really isn't no. Your boy just made his first beer. I'm going to start flossing it in the background. I didn't even think about that right now, but since I've been out here, I've been podcasting, I've been interning. Now I made beer. I've thought about different ways of entrepreneurship, and it's a lot to do with not only the overall culture of California. It's because of guys like Musk leading the way and not taking no and pushing the limits and the boundaries. And of course, you got to surround yourself with people, but just because they say no originally doesn't mean you can't, you know, keep on hitting it. And what Musk is doing, I mean, we're headed to Mars apparently in 2030. So it's gonna be insane what the world is coming into. And again, I wanted to bring it to our early shit, be an early adopter, because I fucked up so many times. I lost out on fucking Netflix stocks. I've lost out on fucking red box opportunities. Yo, if someone says something, just fuck with it a little bit. You don't gotta go all the way in, but put some money down. I mean, I think I've said enough. So
Elon, from me and Dustin, here's your flowers. We appreciate you. We love you, even though we don't know you from a distance. And I just hope you keep pushing forward.
Love you to death, bro. Thanks for keep on trucking, and we're definitely gonna get you because I'm one person removed who interviewed you. So we're gonna keep on banging in, and we're gonna get there. Thank you.
For sure.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around this long. Stay safe, stay healthy, and thanks for listening.
All right, guys. Have a good night. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys.
All right. So I think I might have fucked up.